Hey, great morning to you all. Hope you woke up this morning grateful. Hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. I hope your Father's Day was fulfilling for you all. I hope you woke up and set a high vibe this morning. And I hope you've been feeling the changes, and I hope you've been feeling the elevation of vibration which is going on within yourself by doing all these great things for yourself. I hope that y'all remember that you're sourced by infinite, unconditional love that loves you very much. And this is why you've been given another day. So I'm really happy that everybody is alive today. All right, there's a lot of people that didn't make it to see another day today. So this is why we ultimately have to be very grateful for another day. All right. Now, this morning I want to help you guys raise your vibration. All right, I'm going to give you a couple of tips that I do personally, like I always do. I reflect back to how I do it. So it'll give you guys all some clarity onto how, you can do it. Now, I don't want this morning's live to be overwhelming, because when you realize what you're doing to yourself to keep yourself in a lowered state of vibration, a lot of guilt comes with that. A lot of embarrassment comes with that. A lot of shame comes with that. And also a lot of denial. All right? And that's not the purpose of this. I want you guys to realize where it is that you're going wrong for yourselves with no judgment. Because these are the things that I've had to do for myself in order to analyze what was keeping me in a low vibration. All right? So, all right. We're going to get on to raising your vibe. But I'm sure you guys can tell the little things in the morning that you get up and you feel grateful for it, when you start telling yourself you're grateful to be alive, and you start reminding yourself that you've got things to be grateful for, because we all forget when we're feeling a slump. I hope that alone has been raising your vibrations and you're starting to feel a little better. And you see all this talk about raising vibration. I want you all to understand it's because we're an energetic being. Okay? And what you're emitting out there is a vibe. So you're absorbing all kinds of vibes, but you're also emitting all kinds of vibes. And if you don't feel good genuinely within your being, well, this is the live for you this morning. Okay? And I understand quite clearly that we all have responsibilities in life. And when you're not feeling so well about yourself or about your life or about things going on, you're going to put a mask on to the world. You're going to cover that up because you're embarrassed by it. Especially if you're somebody who doesn't or hasn't asked for help all your life. It's very hard to tell people you're not okay. All right? Especially when you've been telling all these people that, you're just fine. So, I'm going to give you a couple of things that you can analyze within your own life that's going to help you raise your vibration, okay? And raising your vibration is going to bring you out of that negative state that is causing disease within your body. You're out of harmony when you don't feel good. All right? Pains surface because they're warning signs, okay? If you're living in a dense negative state, your body stays constricted. Negativity gets blocked in your body. And this is where pain stems from. Okay? It's a blockage. There's something that's not flowing right within your being. And a lot of things cause this. Okay? In our population today, it has a lot to do with the stuff that we eat, the stuff that we listen to, and I've been bringing this to you guys' attention over the past couple of weeks. Is really analyzing what you engage in, what you accept, what your beliefs are, what are your limitations. All of these things stem into keeping you into a lowered vibration. All right? Now, what happens when you're in a lowered state of vibration? Well, we can operate like that for a short time. But there's no living organism that can live under the conditions of stress like that for an extended amount of time without dying. Simple. Now I'll explain that to you on a little deeper level so that you totally, fully understand that. Okay, now we all have the ability to deal with stress, all right? And we all have the ability to bounce back from stress. But if we continue to eat stressful, foods that are stressing our bodies, and we keep thinking stressful thoughts, and we keep being around stressful people, and we keep going to a stressful job, and we keep engaging in stressful relationships, and there's no baseline of well-being amongst any of that, well, then you're living in a lowered vibration. Now, in a lowered vibration, what that means is that you are not flowing at a state of vibration which allows you to flow freely within your body and within your life. So that's going to cause you disease. It's going to cause you an instability within yourself. Now, because we're sourced by this great energy that's comprised of infinite unconditional love, that energetic source, our soul, never gets tired. And the energy that it brings to our being to have our experience is huge. Okay? Now, if you think about all the cells in your body and the amount of energy that's comprised in every single cell of your being, you have enough energy to do everything that you have to do in life, and even more. So if you're feeling sluggish, and if you're not telling yourself the right things, and if you're not eating the right foods, and you are restricting yourself to the open flow, and you can't be a loving person to yourself and to others, which is creating toxins within your body because you're working against your truest nature. Now, within this truest nature, you have all the energy to do what you have to do. Okay? But when you're living at a lowered state of vibration, what happens is this. We can govern like that for a little bit of time because our subconscious mind has a job to do when it comes to the automatic systems of our energy. Okay? And I want you to understand that. So, our subconscious brain knows where it has to put certain energies in order to allow certain other energies to be put places to function all of these automatic systems within your being. Now, when you're living at a lowered state of vibration, what happens is your body, your physical body, not your soul body, your physical body that you are given free will to govern, okay, doesn't have the energy that it needs to manage all the systems within your being properly. And this is where it comes down to, okay? I want to keep it at the simplest form so that you all understand it in the simplest form, okay? There should be no confusion to be had in this. When you're living at a lowered vibration, living in negativity, eating things that are not right for you, speaking things that are not right for you, living in ways that are not right for you, what that does is it mismanages the energy. Okay, your energy, because you're living at a lowered state below your baseline that I talk about of well-being and being in harmony, your body is always overworking. Okay? Let me keep it at its simplest. It's always overworking. Now, I need to break that down a little more. Okay. What I mean is this. Anything that is not fueling your body positively is taking away from the energy of your being. Okay? Now, if you're eating foods that are no good for you, well, then your body is overworking itself to try to get the good out of it. And it can't. So, shit food, processed food, things that we know are not good for us, that we eat anyway, that alone keeps us in a lower vibration. Now, I want you guys to understand it on a deeper level. You see all these diets and these gimmicks about losing weight and everything? No. The system of eating 3 meals a day has kept us in a lowered state of vibration. Okay? No. Anything that is not electric food. Okay, let me explain it to you like this. Okay. You can sit down and have a hearty meal. And this is what I want you to check for you all, because then you're going to understand the different vibrational effects of what you're eating. Okay? Now, I want you to really think about this, because when you think about this, your body's going to relive it right now. And I want you to allow your body to feel this with me, okay? Because then you're going to understand. Now, picture yourself sitting down with a big hearty plate of food. Right? Now you've eaten that plate of food. And you're very satisfied. And you feel great, but you feel the weight of it. Feel that within your being. A hearty meal, whether it's... Doesn't matter what your staple foods are. Let's just say meat and potatoes. Let's say meat and rice and peas. Let's say all of these heavy, hearty foods that we think are ultimately satisfying us. Now, do you know what that does to your body? That overworks your body in the biggest form. Okay? Sit with that a minute. Now what I want you to check now, erase that blackboard, erase it, okay? Take that image out of your mind and take those feelings out of your body. Now, I want you to imagine a platter full of vegetables. Whatever vegetables you like to eat, if any. And I want you to think about consuming those vegetables. And yes, you can get full off those vegetables. But the full is a different kind of full. It's a fueling full. It's a light full. Think about it. That right there is an explanation of 2 different forms of fueling your body. We are not supposed to ever feel heavy. We are not ever supposed to be weighed down. We are supposed to be free flowing beings at all times. Okay? So one of the hugest things I want you guys to look at for raising your vibe is understand what's grounding you. And I don't mean grounding you in a good way. I mean what's grounding you to the density. And a lot of it has to do with what you consume, what you eat. Okay? And I'm not talking about the alcohol, and I'm not talking about any drugs that you may do, and I'm not talking about anything else that you do to your body. I'm talking about primarily sourcing your body with its fuel. What are you fueling with? Simple as that. You need to take a look at the things that you're eating and ingesting and believing that those are the things that you want and need. Now, there's a lot of dieting and a lot of crap out there that's going to make you believe that you got to eat a certain way, you got to do this, you got to do that. You got to listen to your body. That's what you got to do. All right? If something doesn't make you feel good, stop doing it. That's key. Do whatever you want. But listen to what your body is telling you after. That's what I want y'all to do. Because these are the things that you gotta analyze and look at in order to make the changes. And yeah, when we start doing this work, it's sometimes very difficult because you realize, whoa, I am really doing this to myself. So you have to take that knowledge and learn from it. You can't beat yourself up, and you can't get stuck in that guilt of how badly you've been treating yourself. You have to rise above it. Okay? Start eating better. That changes your vibration immediately. Okay? Make better choices for your body. Number one. Okay? Number two. So what you're fueling your body with really, really matters. I want you guys to understand something. What is my eating pattern? I'll tell you honestly. I like to eat one big meal a day. One. That's it. There's studies that have proven that if you can fast, I mean not a sip of anything, for 16 hours, your body automatically repairs itself. Because you've given the allowance of not shoving crap in it. Okay? So, all of these people that are hooked up to all kinds of treatments and all kinds of this and that in the medical system, I'm going to enlighten you all this morning of this. Look it up. 16-hour fast for your body will automatically set you in a reparation mode. Repairing. That's it. Your body automatically begins to fix itself. Down to the genetics of your being. Okay? But nobody will tell you that. The doctor will tell you, here, take this, take that, take this, take that. All right? You need a cleanse. Okay? You don't need to be adding more crap down your throat. Okay? This is the problem. So, raising your vibration, keeping a high vibe has a lot to do with how much you shove in your mouth. Got to be blunt with you. So it's not only how much you shove in your mouth, it's what you're shoving in your mouth. Okay? But you got to look at these things with no judgment. Love yourself for taking the time to figure this stuff out, because it really matters and it affects your vibration. Huge. Okay? Because your body, unless it's the simple things that our body is meant to have, okay, your body's overworking to break it down. Simple. No matter what it is that you're taking. And you think that you could have the healthiest lifestyle in the world, and you think that your diet is just okay. No, listen. It's the amount of food that you're consuming, whether it's a good or bad diet, first of all. Less is more. Okay? You have to give your body solely what it needs. And when you think about the size of your stomach versus the size of the plates that we eat, think about it. We've been trained to overeat all of our lives. Okay? Half of us were told that we weren't to leave the table until we finished our plate. All right? That was not proper eating patterns for anybody. As kids, many of us were taught to overeat. Why? Because our parents were fearful about where the next meal was coming from. All right? But I know personally, my consumption of what I ate as a child, I had my gallbladder removed at 15, full of gallstones. Okay? So, the way that we're conditioned to eat has a lot to do with our vibrations. So what do? I eat less of everything. And I allow myself to have the things that are very good for me in abundance. I don't cut out everything that's not good for me. That's humanly impossible living in a society that we do. All of the commercials are for fast food and, oh, do this and do that and hey. Why? Because that's how we're conditioned. Okay, and that's what we accept for ourselves. But we can change that. Okay? So this morning, check what it is that you're shoving in your mouth. Hate to tell you like that, but hey, that's the thing, like, this is how I talk to myself. And actually, I talk to myself a lot more brutal. And the people that are directly in my life immediately, oh boy, I talk to them more brutal too. Because the severity of my being forces me to. Okay, I can't sugarcoat it. Nothing's been sugarcoated for me. So you know what? This is just how it is. But first thing you got to do is look at all of the bad choices of what you're shoving in your mouth. And just start making better choices for yourself. That's all. And only you can do that. Okay, so let me get back to how I do it. I do it like this. It may seem crazy, but I give my body what it needs. Nothing more, nothing less. If I sip something and my body doesn't want it, I don't force myself to have it. If I sit down and I've made myself a plate of food and halfway through it I can't finish it, well, I will cover it. But the food that I'm eating, I've made huge changes in my life. Okay? Everybody loves fast food. Everybody does, because that's just the fast way, the easiest could be. But it's all shit. Okay? You're eating fast food, well, expect to feel the effects of fast food running through your body. You don't take wise choices for yourself, well, expect to feel the energy of that. Now, you also have to understand something. You see, when you're out there and you're not eating your home-cooked food and you're not preparing your own meal prep, do you know that you're eating the energy of whoever's making it for you? Think about that. That's what's maybe going to dissuade you from, making those terrible choices for yourself. Even when you order in, you don't know whose hands are on that food. Everything's energy. Energy. So, he may have prepped it great and been a great chef, but who says he was even in a good mood doing it? These are the things that are going to affect you. So, when it comes to your intake of food, prepare your meals for yourself by yourself. Number one, that is huge. All right? And if you're eating from somebody's hands, you better make sure that they're a loving person. Because if not, you're not just eating food. You're eating the negative vibration of that being that created that food for you. Huge. Okay? These are the things that aren't preached about. But you got to take a look at that. He could have been wearing his mask of greatness at work, but what's his life behind it? Well, these are the things that you have to think about. Okay? And it's happened to me, and it does happen to me. There's a place that I order from because I know that the vibe is right. And I've went into the restaurant, I've met the owner, I've met the cooks. That's what I do. I don't just order from anywhere. And I will continue with the business that I choose to do business with. And I won't steer from them until I get sick off their food. And it's happened. And that's when I call and say, hey, did you change your cook? And they'll tell me straight up, yeah, it's not the same. Okay, cool. I don't ever want food from that guy again, please, thank you. Simple. And it may sound crazy to you guys, but I'm an energetic being, and energy affects me. So the energy of the food that I'm consuming affects me huge. It's fueling my body. Okay? So, you want to raise your vibration? Watch the stuff you're shoving in your mouth. Simple. All right? Then, now, let's take it up a notch. Okay? Second thing I want you guys to think about. So, I've made you think about what you're shoving in your mouth. Now I want you to think about what you're allowing out of your mouth. Sounds crazy, but yes. Okay? Because that alone, speaking negatively or speaking condescendingly to somebody or not being loving in everything you say and do, is working against your opposition of who you are. Okay? So you're being fueled by an unconditional love, infinite. Which is also what's contained in that is the all-knowing. Now, you got something happening in your life and you can't figure it out. Well, guess what? If you were in harmony with your being, all the answers would be there. Okay? So let's get that right. All right? That's real. So, anything that you breathe that's negative. First of all, let's take it back even deeper, because thoughts create feelings. So, before thinking about what is coming out your mouth and you checking your words and your speech and what you were giving life, I want you to go back to your ideas, because that's where it stems from. Right? When something happens, what's your initial idea of it that runs with these thoughts? Is your initial idea to things negative because of your belief systems? Change it. How do you change it? Anything that's negative in your mind, you say, hey, catch that. And you know what? If you're not taking a look at it, you're not going to notice it. Because that, again, is an operating system that is running on a program. Just like your computer is. Okay? Your phones are running on a system automatically. Well, so is your body. And how do you think they've had to figure out technology? Because they understand it. Tapped into the all-knowing, where all the answers are. Okay? I want you to take the time to think and see what your thoughts are. Take a look at that stuff. Because that's another huge reason why you're stuck in a lowered vibration. Or things aren't happening right for you. Or you're not getting the most out of your life. Nobody's doing that to you. You're doing that to yourself. Okay? And what you're allowing in your life and what you're allowing as your vibe is on you. It's not going to change the unconditional love that's sourcing your life. But staying in a lowered state of vibration with negative thoughts and negative ways produces negative results. Now, what I mean about this vibe thing, let me get back to the explanation of how it's so important to be at a baseline. Because this is why it's important to vibrate higher than a negative state. Okay, we all need that baseline, that well-being state. The state that you're in when you're in meditation and you're connected and quiet. Because that's all meditating is. Can I give it to you in my terms, what meditation is? Being able to just shut up for a minute and be calm within your being. So all those of you that say you can't meditate, it's because you can't shut it off. Simple. You're giving your power to your subconscious programming. Get over that. Okay? Anyway, let me get back to the baseline. So when you're meditating, if you can, and all that is quieting yourself. Okay? Let me be real with that. That's your state of well-being. Okay? Now, that's the state you're supposed to be functioning in at all times. So, you're not supposed to be in your brain and telling yourself all kinds of crap and eating all... No. Listen. You got to notice what you're thinking. And notice all of these negative thought patterns that are going to pull you back into that negative frequency. You have to stop yourself. Doesn't matter if you have to stop immediately in your tracks about what you're doing. I don't care. Stop. And ask yourself, hey, was that idea or was that thought loving to me or harmful to me? Your answer is right there. And nobody can give you these answers. Why? Because you're too busy wearing masks for the world. Okay. Let's get real with yourself right now. So anytime you have a negative something that comes up in your brain, which you are producing, and nobody else is producing that for you, take a look at it. Ask yourself that simple question. Is this loving to me, or is this harmful to me? When you realize it's harmful, what you're going to do is you're going to take that negative thought, rewrite it. Oh, Tobi, I can't do that. Yes, you can, because those thoughts are yours. And if you can't rewrite your thoughts, well, then guess what? You're at a very huge loss. So, identify those thoughts. Take a look at them. Ask yourself, are they loving to you or harmful to you? Now, when you realize they're harmful, you're going to take a deep breath. And it's very important to forgive yourself for having those thoughts. Okay, now how do you do that? You tell yourself, oh boy, okay, that's okay that I had those thoughts. It's okay. But I think I need to correct those thoughts within my being because they're producing negative feelings also, which are going to produce negative actions. Okay? Rewrite it. Take that same saying, this same thought or same idea that you had in a negative light and tell yourself it in a positive way. Yeah, this takes work. But if you don't do this, these are the things that are controlling you. And you don't even realize it. So you got to raise your vibration because your programming has you set in the negativity. Because you can walk around and try to be a positive person and all this, yeah. But don't tell me that you don't get flustered. Don't tell me that you're not affected by the negativity around you. But that doesn't mean that you can't control it within yourself. All right? So you want to raise the vibration. You want to fix those thought processes. Because these are the things that are creating feelings also. All right? So we've looked at the things that you put in your mouth. The things now that you've let out of your mouth. Now what I mean also too is this. The negativity that you speak about yourself, the negativity that you speak about others, that produces toxins. Okay? The same way cars go around leaving toxins in this universe, while somebody who's breathing all of this toxic stuff out of their mouth, it's the same thing. Energetically. Okay? No difference. So we all have to start getting real with that. You know, you see somebody who's negative and you know what happens? You talk to them, you have a conversation with them, somebody dumps on you about all their problems. Well, that's a whole bunch of negativity that you've just absorbed, even if you didn't give them advice about it. But you let them vent on you. So you've just absorbed not only your own negative stuff going on in your own body, but the shit that's being handed to you. And you say, sure, bring it on, give it to me. So unless you have the power to transmute that, okay, like what I mean by transmute it is have an allowance within your being to allow the absorption of everything, but then infuse love into it all and switch it from negative to positive and push it back out to the world. Now, if you're stuck in your own negative shit, well, you can't do that. But in order to change that, you got to be able to take a look at it. How do you change it? You infuse love into it. Simple. Yeah, and it takes work. And this is the work I'm talking about. That's nitty and gritty and not fun and grueling. But this is the work that you have to do to get over yourself and to get over the conditioning and the programming that you're set in. Why it's so important? Because of this. Running at a lowered vibration that your body doesn't have the energy to run normally, your life force never shifts. Okay? But how it's governed within your being does. Okay? If you're not tapped into the source of the energy of your being, well, then it's pretty hard to be a loving person. So, what you need to do is you need to be a loving person primarily for yourself and for others. Tell yourself good things. Eat good things. Say good things about yourself. Of course it's going to feel uncomfortable at first because you don't believe it. Okay? And that's another thing. If you really want to know what you believe, speak it and sit with it. Your body's going to tell you whether you believe that or not. And this stuff is real. So you guys can take it for a joke, or you guys can seriously apply the learning. Okay? Now, this energy source that we are fueled by gives us enough energy to not only live a magnificent life, but to be a creator with the law of least effort. Okay? But if you're not governing correctly and you are living at a lowered state, so living in negativity, being unloving, being judgmental, shaming people, non-acceptance of people, believing in separation, believing in a lot, all kinds of the negative stuff, and speaking it and living it, well, you're living at a lowered vibration. Simple. Okay? Now, from this state, your body, the subconscious programming, okay, now you're either doing things to fuel your body or to overload your body. It's as simple as that. Now, so if you're not telling yourself good things, if you're not eating the right things, if you're not living the right way, there's no way you can reach a baseline. Okay? So the harmony where your state of well-being, where your body can naturally repair itself and thrive in life, you can never reach that as long as you're doing the wrong things for yourself. So if you really want to be okay, you got to make all the changes. Not just a little bit here and there. You really got to dive deep and make the changes for yourself because you're worth it and you matter and you're alive today. So that means that there is a purpose for you on this planet. Because if there wasn't, you'd be gone. And this is why there's a purpose for me to tell you to get it right with your energy and raise your vibration, because if not, you're staying sick. Sick in your mind, sick in your being, and sick in your life. Simple. I don't care what you have going on in your life. You need to go inside of you. It doesn't matter what's going wrong in your life. You're making it that way. Okay? And it's because of the lowered state of vibration that you're at. That's why it's so important to be grateful, to affirm good things in your life. Watch what you're putting in your mouth. Watch what's coming out of your mouth. Okay? Watch what you're feeding your being on an energetic level. What are you listening to? What are you watching? What are you engaging in? What are you allowing in your life? Simple. These are the things that you got to look at in order to raise your vibration. Okay? You don't know how severe it really is. But this is what happens, and it's already 40. Okay, I want to get off of here soon, so let me wrap this up with a huge understanding. Now, you have a subconscious mind. It's an automatic system that governs everything going on in your body. Okay? Less is more, people. Less is more. Less of everything. Okay? Less is more. Don't overwork your body. All of these emotional states that happen, if you feed them, you make them more than what they're supposed to be to stabilize your body also. But look, okay, look, let me not even go there. Look, if you're running at a lowered state of vibration, you have no management of also your emotions. Okay, because that also too is going to keep you in that state. Okay, because you cannot feel the wellness of anything. So, watch what you put in your mouth. Watch what comes out of your mouth. Watch what you're fueling yourself with. Now, there's also another way to bring it up. You gotta speak goodness. And this is very serious. If you do not feel well, if you feel yourself sick, if you do not feel alive, I want you to speak life into yourself. Okay, how do you do that? Every morning when you're in the mirror, tell yourself that you're amazing. Tell yourself that you're strong. Tell yourself that you're capable. Tell yourself that your body knows what it needs to do and you're going to step out of its way. Even if your body rejects that from you, keep telling it that. Because that's what happens. You're going to tell yourself that, and if you don't genuinely feel that, your body is going to try to refuse that as a suggestion because it believes different. Okay, and it's really you got to understand this. It's just like when you change your eating habits. Your body's going to refuse it at first. And that's why. Or you're going to hear people make all the, oh, well, I can't eat like that because it gives me gas and it gives me pains. Yes, because it's foreign to your body. And that just proves how much shit you've been ingesting. Got to get it right. And honestly, I wish I would have gotten it right because now it's taking double the effort to get it right for me. Okay? I smoked all my life. I drank all my life. I did drugs all my life. I did all kinds of shit to keep myself at a negative vibration. So whether I was trying to be a positive person or not, it didn't matter. Because, yes, I was trying to project positiveness into the world, but I was a toxic human being. Making toxic choices for myself and making toxic choices for those around me. Simple. So, how do I raise my vibration? Well, okay, I eat less. Huge. I eat a lot less. But I don't deny myself. If my body or my being really wants to have a certain something, well, I allow myself to have it. Because I listen to my body. No, I'm not on a diet. I don't believe in diets. I believe in giving your body what it needs. But when your body's so used to running on crap, well, that's what it wants, because it doesn't know better. So yeah, you're going to have some changes to do, but every time you go to eat something, ask yourself, is this giving me life or taking from my life? It's going to be, you're going to open doors to make better choices with those simple questions. Don't ask, is it good for me or bad for me? That's just your opinion. Ask yourself, is it giving me life? Or is this taking from my life? That's it. Simple things. Now understand, every time you breathe negativity and think negativity, it steals from your energy of creation. And it keeps you locked into a negative vibe. So if you're anxious, if you're depressed, if you're sick of any kind of disease, I don't care if it's stage 4 cancer to whatever it is, okay? Understand that it can all be fixed. Why is your body feeling like this? Why are you doing this? Because of the lack of love that you've been taught to have for yourself and for others. So let's get it right now and start to teach our bodies that it's okay to be loved, and it's okay to love ourselves, and it's okay to fuel ourselves properly with the right stuff. So, watch what's coming in. Watch what's going out. Watch what you're interacting with, which is transactional. Okay? And this is serious stuff. And it really affects your being. And it affects everything in your life. You got to really check what you're allowing to keep you in this negative state, which doesn't feel good. And that alone should be motivation for change. And you may have it all figured out. And you may think you do anyway. But I can assure you of this. Unless you are of optimal health within your mind, within your body, and within your energetic being, then no, you don't have it figured out. I don't care who you are. So, eat less. Say less. Think less. Less is more. It's not going to steal from the energy of your being that your body needs to govern all of those automatic systems within your body. So if you want to fly off the handle at things and you want to give your energy to things in life that aren't of your well-being, well, then it's taking from your life. So raise your vibration. Unless you have something nice to say, don't say it at all. If you're not helping somebody, then back out of it and stay out of it. Watch what your vibration is. Watch the things that you eat. Watch the things that you say. Watch the things that you are grateful for. Watch the things that you are limited by. Because what's a limitation? A chance to be creative. Look at the obstacles that you have in your life. Are you seeing them as obstacles, or are you seeing them as opportunities for growth? These are all the things that you got to look at in order to understand what you're vibrating at and why you don't feel good. But it doesn't take a brain surgeon to figure out. So, you want to raise your vibe? Like I've said it probably about 5 times. Watch what you're putting in your mouth and watch what's coming out your mouth. And as long as you're giving your body's energy and your life force to negative shit, it's taken from your life. Simple as that. As long as you want to make the bad choices for yourself, I don't want to say bad choices. As long as you want to make unloving choices for yourself, you're going to feel those effects of them. Anytime you choose to think something, say something, check it. Check it. Because nobody can do that for you. And you know what? Look, it's better you check what you're doing for yourself before the universe checks you with something very huge crisis. Because if you, with all of the planetary things happening and all of the energy shifts and everything, you know what? It's forcing people to raise their vibration. And this is why you guys are all seeking answers anyway. It's not for no reason. Love yourselves unconditionally. That's what you're fueled by. This stuff is not stuff for you to get all beaten up with or think that, oh, Tobi's just too rough on me. No, because these are the things that if you implement in your life and you take a look at, it's going to change your life for the better. So as hard as I was to listen to, trust me, the effects of sitting here listening to me in your life are going to be huge too. And I can't sugarcoat it because this is serious stuff. But you got to do it for yourself. Nobody else. You matter enough. You have to get that right. Okay? Watch what you're putting in your mouth. Watch what's coming out your mouth. Well, watch what's in your head. Huge. Okay? Watch what you're allowing as your transactional interactions. You want to raise your vibration? Okay, well, eat better, speak better, think better. And it's all about analyzing what you're doing and making simple little choices for yourself. Don't delegate your life to what's happening around you. Don't be a victim of your life. Take control of that today. Okay? Make better choices for yourself. It's simple as asking yourself this. Is it loving me or not? And be quiet with that. Your body's going to tell you. Don't ask a friend. Don't ask anybody. Ask yourself for the first time and trust it. Okay? I love you all. Tomorrow's going to be on boundaries. Setting boundaries for ourselves. Healthy boundaries for ourselves. Because I am so grateful that I was reminded about boundaries by somebody. And that's because I've been shifted a lot lately and allowing way too much to happen in my life and allowing way too much things to go on around me. And I was reminded by somebody who's very, very amazing. And she reminded me, no, Tobi, you got to set some firm boundaries for yourself because right now you're too open to everything. And I really didn't understand it at the time because I just figured at that time, well, as long as I'm infusing the amount of love that I need to in my life, in everything, in every direction, it's okay. I don't need boundaries, but I do. For myself. So that I can keep that energy for me. Okay, so I'm going to teach you all about healthy boundaries for yourself. It's got nothing to do with anybody else and setting boundaries for other people. No. You got to set boundaries for yourself. And that we'll talk on tomorrow. Okay? If you want to raise your vibration, remember these 3 things. Watch what you're putting in your mouth. Watch what you're putting out of your mouth. And watch what you're thinking. Watch what you're feeling. Okay? Remember, you're loved unconditionally and you're sourced by infinite, unconditional love. You are greatness. You are a creator. Okay? Nothing more, nothing less. But that, it's infinite. So what more could there be? You're a creator. And you matter because you were given today. Today's a brand new day to make of it what you choose to. That's why we have free will. All right? I wish you all greatness in your day. I want you all to get the most out of it. I want you guys to try to set a high vibe. Try to watch what you eat. Watch what you say. Just be a better being for yourself. All right? I love you all. I hope this is helping. Peace.